Hello, my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing really well. Thank you for being here. And today we are looking at messages from your ancestors. Now, these are people who have passed into the next realm. And also, I was thinking if any kind of spirit guides might come into play. If they do, then and they speak, then they do. But this is mainly from your blood, like ancestors or people that were caregivers to people, like people who are within your family line. So, as always, 3 piles to choose from. This is going to go deep, by the way, because I did this reading earlier and it was just so deep. But something said to me, redo it. So I'm redoing it. So just be warned. Trigger warnings, all the rest of it. Remember, this is just a reading. If you want to go deeper, you can get in touch with me and we can do a private reading. But otherwise, just take this with a pinch of salt and remember it's general. So pile 1, the river. Pile 2, the cave. And pile 3, the offering. Pile 1, the river at 34. Pile 2, the cave at 32. And pile 3, the offering at 64. So timestamps will be in the description box below, my friends. And I'll see you at your reading. Bye. So, pile 1, welcome to your reading. As I mentioned at the beginning of the reading, I'd done this already before, and yours was actually the reading that I did, and then I stopped. So I'll be using the same cards as I did before, but I won't be using the same tarot. So we'll just see what messages come up. But with this river, the same thing that I had last time is coming up. The idea that all rivers run to the sea. All rivers come to one mass. You know, no matter what, that we see ourselves as something separate, something that is not part of us. It actually is something that may be intrinsically, you know, part of us, particularly in terms of like when we're triggered. Usually things that trigger us are issues in some form of or way, right? Not completely. They are there to kind of help us, teach us. There's something within us that needs to be, I wouldn't say necessarily healed totally, but something to be looked at, something to pay attention to, let's say. And with this river, it's almost like I feel a flowing, I feel a gushing going on. This is quite a fast moving river. So maybe things that happened in the past to your ancestors, they felt like they were being swept away with the energy. They felt that they were, you know, more in servitude rather than leading their own lives, if that makes any sense. So that's the kind of like vibe I'm getting right now. I'm just going to pop that up there and then we'll have a look at the other cards. Okay, so we've got retrograde, which is review. We have Venus, reversed. We have black moon water, which is isolation. So that's the new moon. And the water new moon. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have jewel, as in D-U, just show you there, jewel. And that's in the constellation of, this mansion resides within the constellation of Sagittarius and Capricorn and is also in Mars and the Sun. And these I will wait until later to do. So, part 1, if this isn't an issue to do with your love life, then I think, you know, this is to do with how you relate to people, how you interact with people. I don't know if you're kind of butting heads with someone at the moment, but there seems to be some kind of sense of conflict that is causing you to kind of review how things are going. So sorry about that. I just had to light a candle. I have 3 candles here in front of me, and when one of them goes out, I have to go and light it, which says to me about the whole kind of pause to reflect. So it's almost like you're watching the river. I don't know, it feels like you've come to this state of review so that you can just get a moment to yourself. I see just something quite hectic, possibly you being in maybe a family dilemma, or some kind of embroilment with someone. It may even be as much as a divorce or something like that, or a bad breakup. The reason why I say that is because we've got isolation, which means that you're on your own, and then we also have Jewel and we have Venus here. Venus being reversed, there's kind of this sense of disharmony that's going on. And the clarity you have when you come to the river, which is really interesting because it kind of like starts off like this, but then when you stay there and you actually just kind of meditate with it and review it, you're able to see the clarity of the image that kind of comes through. So I think that's really beautiful. I'll be using the Wild Unknown Tarot view today. I did pick the tarot deck specifically as well, and I forgot to say them at the beginning. Never mind. And I even had a chance to do it the second time around. But anyway, so let's have a look at what's going on. Okay, so we've got the Sun, the Daughter of Swords, reversed. We've also got, it's very slightly reversed, the Mother of Cups. Somebody wants to speak. The Mother of Pentacles. So we've got 2 reversed females, okay, or female energy. And then we've got the 9 of Cups reversed, okay. I don't know, maybe some of you weren't able to speak your truth about something. Maybe there was something that you really wanted to happen and it just wasn't allowed to. Otherwise, I do think that it was pretty good in terms of like the background. And I think that this is what I'm placing on what I'm getting from your ancestors. Like, I feel like you're recognizing that there is strong maternal stuff that needs to be healed here. Coming back to the first thing I said with that all rivers lead to the sea. The sea is possibly one of the best antidotes for stress, water. When, you know, for grief, it's really important to get to the sea. If you're going through any period of grief, get to a seaside or a beach and just sit there for a bit, because that will really heal you. There's a real lack of instability here, and also a lack of being able to maturely manage emotions. And then you've also got Daughter of Swords as well, which kind of says to me that there was a real lack of communication here. But there seemed to be some kind of like good life that was happening. So I don't know, like it might have been something like of privilege. And then, you know, you kind of, you know what I saw? This thing about this homeless man that was on the street. And, you know, he was quite, like, he had some kind of defect or something. I don't know, just mentally something was going wrong. And he said the reason why he was on the streets was because his parents gave him everything, but they never gave him any attention. They never spoke to him. They never talked to him. They never interacted with him. And that's what I feel here. I feel like even though it seems, and it may have seemed on the outside that it was like the ideal situation, but really it was exceptionally destabilizing in a sense of home, And maybe, I mean, I don't know, this will only be for some of you, but if anybody of you had an alcoholic mother, something here is saying that. Particularly with all these cups all over the place. And this is destabilization of home, destabilization of maternal instinct and mother, basically. More so on a lower level rather than the whole maternal line, which would be the Empress. But because we have 3 female energies here, it tells me that there is something going on, like could be sisters and then the daughter or something like that. But there's something here, and also Venus reversed. I mean, you can't really get more kind of damaged on the mother's side or on the female side. So what I'm sensing here is that your ancestors are asking you to look at this situation. They're calling for your attention. What they want you to do about it, that's going to be interesting. So let's have a look. As I said, please only take what resonates. If this does resonate and you want to go deeper, you can, you know, get in touch. But honestly, take it with a pinch of salt. Also, those of you that do watch this video and do see it, like, my numbers aren't high in terms of like seeing. Like, I'm not getting seen as much as some of these YouTubers. So what's really interesting is that I think, you know, whoever sees this reading, it's very special. It's very personal. So that too as well. Even though these are general readings, it seems that, you know, something led you here to this reading. So I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you. And also, I really hope that this helps you, more importantly. Okay, we've got, wow, the swan reversed here. We've got another swan. We've got 3 swans here reversed. Wow, if this isn't to do with love, I'll be really surprised. So that's the High Priestess reversed. We've got the 3 of Trees. Wow, it's quite a similar message to the last message, actually, to be fair. The one that I decided not to go ahead with and let you know about. Just a little less hard. Wow. A lot of pain here. A lot of pain. I'm really sorry that this happened to you, Pile. Pile 1. It was very much like Keeping Up the Joneses. Yeah. Keeping Up the Joneses. The Entertainer. I think that is the Thing of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. There's just a lot of unhappiness. Mine like 9 and the 10 reversed. It's just a lot of pain here. Particularly with the destabilization of home. With this Entertainer, it quite literally could be that the Mother of Cups, or whoever this was, it could be that you did have someone that was a performer or somebody that was able to, you know, kind of give the appearance that they were stable. It's actually the Knight of Pentacles. So they probably like showed everybody that they were more stable than they actually were. You know, this just feels to me like a front. Particularly with that reversal of this High Priestess. And I don't know, a lot of families, like, I don't know, in the research that I've done, like, there's a tendency to help others, to give out the impression that, you know, you're this helpful, really wonderful person. And then, and I'm laughing because I understand it intimately. And then when they go out, and then when it comes to being at home, like, it's a very different story. Like, you know, somebody who's a vicar or a pastor, and they end up like, you think that they're really amazing people who help everyone, but then when you look at their home situation, it's very different. Very, very different. So, yeah. So what is it exactly that your ancestors are trying to tell you? What are you trying to tell pile 1, dear ancestors? What do you want them to know with all of this information? What's the importance of it? Why? Ace of Cups. Okay. Can you see that? Yes. Too many. I'll take that one. 2 of Pentacles. Reversed. 10 of Pentacles upright. And the 3 of Pentacles reversed. Wow. Okay. So, as long as you maintain some sense of stability that is true to yourself, then you are able to manage this in the best possible way and remain true to your integrity. There we go. There she is. Empress reversed. Don't expect a dog to be a cat. What I mean by that is, like, if you think that someone is going to change, say for example, let's go on the scale, right? If there's somebody that's narcissistic, right, and they've displayed narcissistic tendencies or traits throughout all of the time that you've known them, just because they pass one doesn't mean that they're going to magically change. They stay the same. It's the same kind of, like, we learned, like when I trained as a medium, you start to understand, and you know how the people are just people. Like, their spirit is still their spirit, regardless of whether or not that they don't suddenly become like magical angels. They still have the personality that they had when you knew them. So, or in this reality, which is why the Empress is here. It's almost like, don't expect things that are not, just because this person has gone, or just because things are different and you're doing it your way, don't expect people to kind of fall or march to the beat of your drum suddenly. And I think that this is a learning experience in terms of your sense of karma, I think. And that's what your ancestors want to tell you. They want to tell you, like, don't rush. Don't, enjoy the little things. Enjoy the small pleasures. You don't need to fall into place. And you don't need to make sure that everything is, all okay. You don't need to put a plaster over cracks. You don't need to pretend that everything is okay. You just go and live your life. Live your best life. 4 of Swords reversed. The Daughter of Pentacles reversed. And the 8 of Pentacles, yes. This is all about you. I think this is all about, like, a sense of you making sure that you are doing your own thing. And, it may be quite easy to build that up, but it could get broken really easily. So, just like with this spider's web, you could just swipe it and it could just go. So just be aware that that could happen with the people that are around. I don't know, I just feel like, it wasn't as prevalent as it was with the other one, but there is toxicity here. And it feels like you are washing it out, or you're choosing to walk away from it. That's what it feels like, pile 1. Okay, let's have a look at your other cards. Okay, so you've got Pearl. And it says connect to the divine. So, overall here I'm getting quite a white theme. So there's something about you washing things clean. It feels like you're really taking time to understand yourself in a way that honors you. And I love this image of the pearl because, the pearl is formed from a piece of grit, So it's almost like you've had to go through this in order to create this pearl. If any of you are like black sheep or scapegoated, and you'll understand what that means if you are those things. If not, it doesn't matter. But you know, that's what that means, basically. For those of you who do resonate with that. For those of you that don't, it's about you creating some kind of treasure from the hardships that you've been in. And then we've got this one, which is Pravati. Again, we've got this whole kind of river aspect as well, because Pravati stood in the water and stayed there for years so that she could show Shiva that she was a worthy companion. And she stayed like a rock. And I think that's what you want, you know. Also, there's this thing where sometimes our lifestyle and the way that we've been living introduces quite toxic people into our sphere. And what's important is to understand that, you know, this is no longer a part of who you are, or, you know, what you want. This happens usually with kind of like dark night of the soul, spiritual development, that kind of thing, or just kind of life reevaluation. Friends kind of go by the wayside, ways of being, ways of doing things. You know, for example, if you went to the pub every night and then now you've decided to employ a health regime and now going to the pub really isn't within your remit, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, it's changing your friends or your, you know, people that you're around, your environments, and really elevating to a higher state of being, be that a healthier body, better state of mind, better ways of talking to yourself psychologically, and also like understanding yourself better emotionally. You know, there just seems to be a leveling up that comes from your review of the things that are not working. So I don't know if you are doing some deep ancestral work already, but there's definitely something going on here. Okay, and we've got the indigo spectrum. I don't know if I can squeeze that in. Oh yes, I can. Got loads of room. So the indigo spectrum is about you connecting with that sense of the third eye. Things that you may not be able to see are there. Things that you may not be able to see obviously. So it's almost like seeing beyond into a situation, seeing that things are not as what they seem, and really being able to decode the situation in a way that's conducive for you, and taking the time to develop also that third eye is going to be really important for this. Any way that you can connect to your ancestors, be that now, meditation is something that I promote anyway. Now, it doesn't matter what type of meditation you do. I'm just a bit of a masochist, so I do quite intense meditation. But you can do guided meditation, which you can find loads. Just need to Google it. Or you can do TM, which is transcendental meditation. You can do breathing exercises, anything that gets your mind to a state where you just feel calm and you can sense that you can focus on one thing at a time. Then that helps you to get to a stage of meditation. It's not about clearing your mind of all thoughts. It's about expanding the space between the thoughts that you have. And once you're able to do that, then you're able to communicate with ancestors. You're able to hear voices, like not in a schizophrenic sense, but like kind of you start to really tune into that sense of intuition, and you may hear things that tell you, you know, about, you know, how your ancestors were. If you do it, shamanic journeying is really good as well. I will be doing something with shamanic journeying soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that if you're interested. If you do want to get in touch with me about that as a service, I offer it. But more importantly, it's better that you kind of, first of all, just get into a space where you kind of feel that you understand your ancestors. And maybe even just want to communicate with them. That's the first step before you start doing any kind of like more deeper work. But for those of you that do that work, this will be a bit easier. Okay, so we've got 2 crystal chakra cards. We've got fire agate and then we've got peach moonstone. I am probably going to pick another couple of cards as well, because this is quite a big reading. So we've got root chakra and sacral chakra. Now that's really funny because we've also got sun as well here. And it's really important because fire agate and the sun is integral to life-giving support. So you have to make sure that those centers are really important. And if anything challenges those in any way, then they're going to be detrimental to your overall well-being. So make sure that you are, you know, if you have some fire agate, pick up some fire agate. I love fire agate. It's got this beautiful like opalescent kind of it's volcanic agate basically, and what happens is that like water has got trapped inside and it refracts the light, and it's just so beautiful, and it's protection and it's karma. And there it says, I'm divinely protected and I clear my karmic debt. So this is what's going on here. You're clearing this debt. You've got the sacral chakra as well here with self-love and passion. I remember to love myself with peach moonstone, and I follow my passion. Peach moonstone is also a little bit on the sunny side. I think sometimes it can be like sunstone as well. So do get yourself some of that, because that will really help you to kind of ground. But even focusing on the colors, right? Even focusing on the red and the orange. The sacral chakra is, the base chakra, which I'm sure you know, but I'll just say for those who don't, it's on the perineum, the root chakra. And then you've also got the sacral chakra, which is just below the belly button. So just thinking about those spots and about how, like, for example, sitting or any kind of exercises, you can Google all of those to like kind of like strengthen those spots in your body. Wow. And then we've got creativity, and we've got Bixbite and fire. So there's a lot to do with red here. Red, root chakra. It's very much within your remit to like go there and explore that part of yourself to help with this, to kind of ground your divinity in this respect. Okay, so I am going to pick one of these for you to close out the reading. Oh, you've got 2. So, the bridge between worlds. Wow. The signs of the universe become apparent once you recognize the universe inside yourself. We are the bridge between life and beyond. Carry or wear a Celtic tree of life charm for wisdom, luck, and legacy, wisdom, and peace. I think that's it. It's very much like something that you're going to see very soon. Okay. And then you've got this beautiful rock. Stone lines. Wow. Love that. As the body grows with life's wisdom, so does the heart leak out with love. Carry kunzite for kindness to release any resistance to healing. So you've got like a lot of stones that you need to like have on you. You've got Bixbite. I mean, take your pick. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got a selection here to work with. I would take what resonates with you right now. So if one of these stones is like kind of going, pick me, go for that. And work with that for a bit. I mean, you know, kunzite is gorgeous for working particularly with Venus as well. That would be really useful actually, to work with kunzite initially to soften, you know, and forgive. And then you can go into rooting yourself with any kind of like red stones. I've got some bullseye here, which is red tiger's eye, which is pretty good. something that really grounds you, and then you can go into using the peach moonstone to gently stimulate that creativity. And then the big bite is a bit hard to get, but like the idea of it, the energy of it is it's beautiful, like it's almost ruby like, and it's quite rare. So if that gives you an idea of like the stone itself, it also shows that, you know, this thing has to be cultivated. It has to be quite held gently. It can't just come out just like anything. It's not common. You have to cultivate it. Anyway, my friends, gosh, that was long. I hope you didn't mind me babbling on. I hope it resonated. I hope that it gave you some guidance. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, it has been a pleasure to read for you. Thank you so much, and I'm honored that your ancestors would come through to me to deliver these messages. If you'd like a personal reading, please do get in touch. I do offer other services as well, so yep, just get in touch on the email that's below. And yeah, if you haven't liked, subscribe, all that good stuff, please do, because it helps the video to be found as well for other people. But otherwise, my darlings, thank you so much for your attention. I'll speak to you soon, and remember, honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 2, hello, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the cave. This is a very interesting card. I always forget about these eyes. I don't know if you can see those eyes that are in the cave. And then you've also got this image where it's kind of holding it across and then pointing towards. So it's almost like you can come in, but there's some kind of caveat in the respect of you coming into this cave. What is it that your ancestors want to reveal to you, pile 2? I'm going to just place that up there, and then we're going to have a look at your other cards. So we've got semi-square, quincux. So essentially a square. Yeah. But yeah, it's all of those things. And that's really interesting, like these two swallows that are kind of clashing with each other. Interesting. And then we've got these cards here. Wow, Hera, waxing gibbous reversed, which is promotion. And then we have Fortuna. Oh dear, was that reversed or not? I can't remember. Can you remember? Because I can't. Well, whatever it is, I can't rewind it to have a look at what I was doing. So I'm going to read it upright. Jupiter and the Sun in the sign of Leo. So there's something very rich, rewarding. I don't know if there's some kind of expectation on what you should be receiving or something, and it's not quite going the way that you wanted it to. So there's something here that, you know, there's this call to recognize that these things are happening in this way for this reason. And it seems like that success is definitely on the cards, no pun intended, but you know, with this promotion being reversed, I find that quite interesting. I've got a feeling that was reversed, but I'm going to keep it upright. It's almost like you feel that the things that you put into place, they haven't budded, even though you think that, you know, this should work because you're used to the way it is and how it works. And it's almost like this is unknown territory for you, which is causing this tension. But hang on a minute, right? It's reversed. So maybe there's a bit of fear about it being too easy. That's interesting. Let's see what these cards have to say. And with your deck, I'm using the Joe Sparrow Tarot. I meant to say at the beginning. I'm sorry I didn't. So the 8 of Pentacles, the 2 8s, 8 of Cups. Yeah. And the 9 of Wands. I mean, Four of Cups reversed. There's something about old patterns and old behaviors that are coming into play that are stopping you from actually stepping into a sense of power. Pile 2. And what your ancestors want to say is that this, I mean, the reason why it's turning up with ancestors means that it was something that was there. And I think a sense of defensiveness, when I say that, I mean, like, it might have shown in, like, you know, people in the past, your past ancestors. This is a trait that happened to them. And I don't know, I get a very innate sense of releasing karma from this reading. So I think this is a good thing. But it's almost like there is a sense of expectation here, a little bit. And you may have thought, oh yeah, like, or you may be berating yourself for, like, work that you haven't done. Like, so for example, if you know something's quite easy, so you've been given like 4 weeks to do it, but then you end up not doing it until like maybe a week beforehand, and then you end up like really rushing and not really putting in the work that you wanted to, maybe getting defensive about certain things, maybe not walking away from old patterns and behaviors that may have stopped you from being able to take responsibility. And then also there's this state of like kind of self-attack. And I mean, this card here, the Cave, it's very fearful. It's very fearful. But there's almost like this sense of like, well, you know, it's just kind of like what I do normally, so it doesn't really matter, you know? And like that Four of Cups, to me, this is a really interesting Four of Cups, because like you've got this person meditating and then these voices. But then when it's reversed, it's almost like I see the guy or the figure in this picture, they actually are, it's mind over matter. They're kind of understanding it. So what I get here is that you understand that you are being triggered. You've got a really good understanding of that. What your ancestors want to say to you is that this is not just to do with you. Like, this has happened, and it seems like you are going to overcome this in order to kind of, you know, work through it. So, or that's why it's come up, so that it can be exercised, as in gotten rid of. So let's have a look. Let's just clarify. Clarify the Nine of Wands with the Four of Wands. That's the King of Swords, clarifying, right, okay. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Trees, clarifying the Eight of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, clarifying the Eight of Pentacles, no, Eight of Cups, right, okay. Six of Cups, clarifying the Queen of Swords reversed, and then we have the Five of Lotuses. So I don't know if like you've actually managed to find someone, a partnership, a friendship, people that get you, right? Because here there's been some kind of like stuff that I don't know if that's been passed down through family, but there's definitely some kind of something happened in order for you to like want to talk to yourself quite badly, or not really be your best fan, not really be like as supportive of yourself. Like the compassion is low of oneself here. I kind of see that with the the Eight of Cups reversed, it's kind of like I'm just placating rather than actually doing what I need to. And because we've got 2 8s here, it's almost like there's a sense that you are, you know, you've got the potential to be at this advanced level, but that 9 of Wands is stopping you from getting up there. So you're having to like revert back, see what this is about. Know that it is something, like it may have been just some incident. Like, for example, it could have been like something between you and 2 friends when you were at school and you got embarrassed or something like that, you know. Something's, I wouldn't, and I'm not minimizing it. I'm just saying it could be something like that. And something, you know, that reverberates. But I think you're starting to understand how these things kind of like affect you. I don't know, I just see you really taking charge of being able to understand how these trigger you in a really good way, particularly with that King of Swords there, and how it makes you unhappy, and how there's just a really formidable understanding here. And you know, it's like kind of like small shoots. It's not like you're not expecting everything to grow and evolve and be complete at this time. You're recognizing that there's a point where you have to just kind of work through things. It's really formidable. Really formidable. I love the people who come and see these readings, because you're just amazing. Like, yeah, you're just amazing people. Love it. Okay, right. So, yeah, I was going to go in deeper. So let's have a look at what are you going to do about this? Because we've got like, kind of, you understand that things are not really that stable. And yeah, so how do you work through this? Okay, right. So we've got the Page of Pentacles reversed. We've got Death. Got the 7 of Wands, and then we have the 3 of Pentacles. So this is something that you're going to have to do alone, because it's going to be very difficult for you to like be able to work with other people, or even get other people to understand. I wouldn't really confide in people unless you really trust them, because this I don't know, there's something that you understand that has to really, there's a vulnerability that needs to be faced here, and you know, you are facing it, but it's almost like you can't expect other people to really understand that, because they're just not at that level. I'm not saying that anybody's like lower or upper. It's not about that. It's just like a different mentality. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we've got another 8. So you've got 3 8s in this reading. You've got 8 of Wands, and they're all reversed. So there is, I think you intrinsically understand that this is detrimental to your growth. Like, you need to, this is, if you've been experiencing like a stumbling block, then this is what's happening. And you know, it kind of contradicts, like I might have said this in the last reading, or I can't remember whether I said it in the last reading or whether or not I said it in earlier on in this reading. But you know, yeah, I think it was the last reading. Like, meditation and knowledge of knowing, like, awareness is the first step, but it is the first step. And right now you're like, I mean, you've got Hera here, and you've got Fortuna, you've got 2 goddesses. I mean, this is really more about the moon, but the name is of a goddess. So what this tells me is that you've got something that really kind of gives you this light to navigate this space, to go into the space where it is scary and overcome it. But you have to be brave enough to do it. Okay, we've got the 6 of Cups upright. Yeah, I think you're gonna do something that's gonna heal this. And I love this 6 of Cups, because you know, she's got her eyes closed, but she's there remembering. But also she kind of, everything is broken. It's not the same as it was. So she's not deluding herself in the respect of her past. She's accepting it. Wow. And then the 4, like the 4 of Cups and this 4, they're very meditative, like cards. yeah, I just feel like you're going to really overcome your triggers, and your ancestors are helping you to do that. Love that for you, pile 2. Hermit reversed. Yeah, I think, you know, what's really interesting is that, you know, that whole thing of like people staying single until they, you know, heal themselves or whatever. We don't understand our triggers unless we're around people. So it's really important to do that. And I don't think that you've got the option. I think you might have to be around people. So, you know, you just have to be around other people and be experiencing these kind of triggers. Again, like, you know, temperance, you're going to be really balancing things, keeping your cool, like big time. I think we did have the 2 of Pentacles somewhere. I don't know if we did. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Sorry, that was the other reading. Wow, 2 reversed. Okay. So I mean, it might not be the popular choice, pile 2, but I don't know. I don't feel like you're here to make friends. I think you're here to heal. I think you want to do your healing. And you understand the consequences of that. I don't know. I just feel like there's, like, you're not going to people please. You're not going to take any BS. Quite literally. And what I'm seeing here more than anything is the chains. So it's almost like the niceties with those faces. So you're not, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm only going to be interacting in the way I want to interact, in the way I want to interact. It's not going to be like what other people think I should, or how I should interact. Okay, so my loves, what have we got here? Let's get the colour out. Black. Wow. Okay, can I pull that there? Yeah. Wow, find richness from the dark night. There is gold in here. If you haven't done anything to do with shadow work, I would say go in there, because there's something for you there, pile 2. Shadow work is deeply rewarding, but it's intense. It's intense. Takes a lot of resolve, integrity to want to go into that place. But there is untold riches to be found once you integrate your shadow. It's very good. Very, very good. Lalita Tripura Sundari. We've got the Sri Yantra there. And then we also have this beautiful, beautiful steel. I think I've actually seen that in person. I think so. I was lucky enough to be in London and see it at the British Museum. So what I was saying about shadow work, it doesn't necessarily have to be like something dark. It could be even like, this is about erotic spirituality. So let's condense that a bit. I mean, even if we look at Hera, you know, Hera is this kind of embodiment of holding it together, you know, even though like Zeus was going around like, you know, shagging everything that was around, you know, she had to still keep the fort together, keep it together, but she still was a beautiful, sexual, sensual being. Really interesting how these 2 figures are like facing forward as well. So there's something about really being in your power, pile 2, regardless of whether or not that other people see that. And for you to embody that sense of confidence will give you the opportunity to go deeper into that cave, you know. It may even be that, you know, you want to try something a bit, you know, like maybe dancing or like burlesque or something like that. Something that gets you in touch with yourself that you may not have thought that was something conventional that you would be doing. I think now is the time to really explore that sense of self with you. Because I think there's some gold there. Okay, so an angel or card, but that's really interesting. The colours have seemed to have come out a bit more. So we've got orange spectrum. Can I pop that there? Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll pop it here. So orange spectrum. I mean, you know, this is sacral chakra energy. So this is about you connecting with that deep sensual sense of self. So connect to that, because it's wanting you to go there. Your ancestors are saying to you, don't be afraid to let go and explore those parts of yourself that you've been holding back from. Take your time to go in there and explore, and use the elements of tension to be able to see what those are. You know, rather than viewing them as a hindrance, view them as an opportunity. And that is so much easier said than done. Trust me, I've had so many teachers say that to me, and it's just like, yeah, but we're not going to bypass anything. Okay, so just be aware, because there could be, and I think, you know, I think you fully understand the consequences. I think it's more those who like bypass like the idea, like the whole everything happens for a reason kind of thing, which to some extent, you know, there is such a thing as synchronicity, but it is a lot more complicated than that. But we're not going to get into that here. But anyway, so we've got the crown chakra as well. So divine guidance, intuition and enhancement. I learn to trust my intuition. I realize that crystals can enhance my everyday life. So amethyst, really easy to get a hold of some amethyst. Let's get that out so that you can, there we go, give you some energy. And then we've got blue aragonite. Love this stuff. It sometimes is known as Caribbean calcite, but that's not correct. It's blue aragonite, and this is for the third eye chakra. So I remain calm in times of stress, and I take time for self-care and relaxation. So whatever you need to do to get yourself on track so that you feel good about yourself and your body, do it. Pile 2. Okay, 2 more cards. Another crystal one. Messages from your ancestors. Oh, lovely. Rejuvenation. Sea plant and green tourmaline. Oh, those roots are so lovely. Get out in nature. Go out in nature. Take your favourite green crystal with you and just go chill. If you don't have a green crystal, a slab of quartz is really good. Or a piece of quartz is really good to kind of work with. Get out in nature. Soak up that good, beautiful energy. What is that? Oh, this is actually jade. So we'll give you that. So anything that can kind of like connect you to nature. Malachite, well, malachite is more protective, but things like jade, adventurine, green tourmaline, take your pick. So you've got sacral chakra, crown chakra, heart chakra, third eye chakra. So very much the central kind of thing. I don't know, like you seem like you've got quite a lot already with your power. So I really feel like you're quite assured of yourself. I just feel like you need to let go a little bit. Okay. Just dropped all the cards because these cards are diddy. But they're really powerful. Got beautiful messages. These are druid cards. So messages from nature and the ancestors. You know, this is the earth. King's Landing. Okay, so here at Kilmartin lies a stone on a hill. The footprint of crowned kings remain. Their power lies there still. A prophyllite and moldavite will awaken your true life calling. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. It'd be great if they actually told you where this was, and then I could get a picture of it. But there's something about you taking responsibility, and in order for you to take responsibility, sorry about the shaking, in order for you to take responsibility, you have to learn how to rest as well as rule. That's what I get here. And your ancestors are telling you that it's okay. It's okay to take that time. Make sure that you do, because if you don't, who will? Pile 2, it's been an honour to read for you and to allow messages from your ancestors coming through. I really do feel privileged to be giving you this reading. If you like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, thank you so much for being here and your energy. Take care, and remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Part 3, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose the offering. Very suppliant energy where you're giving of yourself, responsibility and vulnerability. I always get that when I get this card. Do you need to offer yourself? What are you offering? What is being offered here? Interesting. Progressions, journey. Wow, okay, right. So transits of time and space, working through that and being able to learn from lessons and understand certain things. Really interesting. Right, okay, so we've got Scepter, Gibbous and Gaia. Right, okay, Gaia, I will just show you that. And it's in, I think that's the full moon. I don't know what these symbols are, but like we've also got Libra, but it's reversed. Mother Earth reversed. Okay. And then we have Gibbous, Waxing, Water Moon, Buds, Passion, Scepter, the Offering and Progressions. Okay, what's really interesting here is that Scepter 14, which is the mansion of the moon that resides within Venus and Saturn. And then we also have Virgo and Libra here. And then we do also have Libra here, but it's reversed. There's an opportunity for you to kind of come forward, but I feel like you are giving too much of yourself within a situation, which is why the offering is there. The reason why I say it's giving too much is because Gaia is reversed, and I got that feeling anyway, you know, when I turned over this card. I didn't get it in the sense that it was like, oh yeah, you're making a sacrifice to get like a just kind of cause. There's something that seems to be like, I mean, it could be as simple as you actually tackling a subject such as like, you know, ecology within the modern world today, which is like almost insurmountable in terms of what you can do. But like, you know, when I think about it personally, I think, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. What is it that I can actually do to help the planet? But then people who are really dedicated, they just do the small steps that they can. So maybe there's a bit of that as well. Like you're actually understanding, but that's what you want to do, because there is a sense of service here. But with this sacrificial kind of vibe, I'm just thinking like, what's going on here? Let's find out a bit more. Okay. With your deck, with your pile 3, I'm using the Guardian of the Night Tarot. I forgot to mention it at the beginning of the reading. I do apologise that I would be using certain tarot decks. It's because I wanted to use a particular card, but it didn't seem right. So I went for these as your pile choice. Okay. What's going on with pile 3? 6 of Cups reversed. Seven of Wands reversed. Two of Cups reversed. Temperance reversed. And the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so it's pretty clear that there was something that happened previously that caused you to really not have that much confidence in what's going on around you. Now, please only take this if it resonates. If it doesn't, then, you know, don't. It's not your reading, and this is only a general reading. But sometimes when we're in places where we want to change the world, where we want to do things, where we feel that we are, and it's really interesting because I was like talking with someone today about it. There's a little bit of like hero complex or like martyrdom. And I didn't really want to kind of go on that vein because I thought, you know, the card's not reversed, don't know what's going on, but there is something of that. Now, you may not even be conscious of this, but there is a sense of sacrificing oneself without really considering yourself. So what I mean by that is there's a psychological kind of thing that they talk about called the hero complex. And there's a little bit of that here. Somebody who is like looking to change the world on a fundamental level, somebody who wants to really do things, but then they're actually, and is actually very passionate about it. And also, I think, to be honest with you, will be very successful with it. But there's a sense of suppliance here. And I think what's important here, and I'm looking at the mountains that are kind of here, that you don't need to self-sacrifice as much as you think you do. Because what ends up happening is that you end up being in a deficit emotionally. And also personal stability ends up like being in this deficit. So you end up being, you know, you end up feeling alone. You end up feeling like you're filling an empty void. It would be really useful, I think, for you to maybe consider, and I've mentioned this in some of my other readings, soul retrieval. It just feels like there's something missing here. It feels like something's like been taken out from not even from this generation, and that's probably why your ancestors are coming in. They are saying that there's something else, because this to me is, you know, ghosts overcoming you, you know. And Two of Cups. There's just an inability to be able to communicate fundamentally with people. I'm not saying that's general. I'm not saying that's with everybody, but like, you know, maybe in the relationships that you want to communicate with people in, say, for example, with your family. Don't know, personal, interpersonal relationships, vital ones. They seem to be a little bit, you end up feeling alone and cold. You don't end up feeling like you're actually listened to, recognized, heard. You feel alone, basically, which is synonymous with this, because look, this figure is standing alone on this mountaintop because they want to do this thing. They want to be the number one. They want to show that they are something in this world. Six of Cups is clarified by the Five of Trees. That's that card there. So from that, you kind of know you have to move on. Ten of Lotuses reversed, Seven of Wands. Yeah, because it's not a happy situation. It's really not. And not only that, you recognise the pain that others went through. I think you know what your ancestors are trying to do is trying to help you to remember that. In the best possible way, right? In the respect of like you not wanting to make the same mistake again. Let's see what the other cards are saying, but this is pretty clear. Eight of Birds, which is the Eight of Swords. Okay, there were two that turned, so I will take these two. Seven of Wands, nice. And then the Eight of Lotuses, Eight of Cups, good. Okay, I'm glad about this. This is really good. As I said this in pile 2, like, you guys are just amazing. You really understand yourselves in such a formidable way that you just get on with it. You know, and I really am. I'm a Capricorn moon, guys, you know. I'm just kind of like, I like my spiritual, emotional work to be organized. Yeah, I can do it. And you go for it. So with the Ten of Lotuses there, you kind of understand that, you know, that there's a place of pain where you're coming from and you're not going to repeat certain mistakes. There's something that, there's a sense of pain that is driving that. So driving your kind of goal. I mean, you know, you look at all people that have, or most people that have, I'm generalizing so badly and I really shouldn't. But there are examples, okay? There are examples of people who have overcome great obstacles, or they have come from a place where they had nothing and then they have built kingdoms. So much. So that's what's going on here. But I think there's just a bit too much self-sacrifice here. You kind of understand that there is a sacrifice, but I think it can be easier than that. With the Five of Trees here, you know you don't have to be alone. You know that these are memories, things from the past that are not your story. There is some stuff that needs to be worked through because you're still kind of in that mindset. But from the Seven of Wands here, which was happening ancestrally, the Seven of Wands is here for you to rise above that. And I don't know if that's like some kind of awareness, or whether you read up on it, or whether if you do a course, maybe you do some kind of yoga thing. I don't know, yeah? Whatever you decide to do, it releases it, or at least works towards releasing it. So you are managing that really well. And I mean, I think you understand that it's something fundamental. Like it actually contributes to you functioning fundamentally. So you need to do something. So it could be like, you know, somebody has been unfit and they are starting to experience problems in their 40s. I hear that. I'd say later on in life, you start to experience problems which you didn't have when you were like in your 20s and your 30s, but you still continue, or that you understand that you need to make fundamental changes to your lifestyle in order to like make sure that you can be healthy for the next 20 years. It's that. That's an example. Then you've also got the Five of Pentacles here with the Eight of Lotuses, Eight of Cups. You understand that this is a mindset you have to walk away from. You know, if you're lonely, or if you're on your own, or if you're feeling ostracized, then you need to do something about that. And you understand that it's within your own power. And it's almost like you leave things behind in order to come home to yourself. Brilliant. Love it. Let's continue to do your tarot and have a look at what is it that you're supposed to be doing with this information. Like, let's just go further. Knight of Swords. Some of you may be very good communicators, so you may be speaking to people. But it's also like you take action, you know. You're pretty proactive, pile 3. So you just go for it. The Sun reversed. And things don't turn out as well as you thought. They don't. What's that saying? You can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather, right? 10 of Pentacles. But you will be financially... God, that is gorgeous. You will be financially stable. You really will be. You may have to jump through some hoops, but you still will be. The Emperor. You'll gain the stability that you need. God, in a way that you've never thought of it. What's interesting, right? I find this really interesting. You're kind of like working against the establishment, but you're actually creating your own establishment in that respect. So you may feel like you're anti, but you're not. You're actually more like the very things that you choose not to be like. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually a very, very good thing. It's a good thing. But I think, you know, it's just interesting. It's just very interesting. There's no good or bad. Queen of Pentacles. You'll be very financially stable from this. Hanged Man. Wow. Yeah, you're going to grow beautifully from this. And it's very much something you're going to have to figure out on your own. All of the piles got this card in one way or another. And it's very much, this is solo work. Listen to your ancestors. The way you can listen to your ancestors is through meditation. And it's really interesting with this cow here. Sacred holy cow. High priestess reversed. Wow, we've got this bat here. 9 of Wands reversed. And then we've got the 10 of Swords. Okay. This martyrdom thing, take a look at that. Take a look at it. Because there's something there. These last 3 cards. High Priestess reversed, 10 of Swords, and 9 of Wands reversed. And all I can see is these porcupine things, like high alert. So I don't know, like... Why are you doing it? Why are you doing this? Like, why do you do what you do? If you're doing it to save the world, I don't know if that's going to work. But if you're doing it so that you can just make a fundamental difference and change whatever it is, be it big, be it small, like, you know, the flower on the side of the pavement doesn't think, oh God, I'm only on the side of the pavement, I'm going to bloom like just a little bit. It blooms, it fully blooms. Like, there's a beautiful flower that's usually peeking through the concrete. There's grass that's making its way. It's not considering whether or not, oh yeah, is this area good enough for me to like come out here? You know? There is very much that it's not, I don't know, I just feel like expectations is high here. And that needs to like, whether or not you change it or not, it will happen. I think that's what your ancestors want to say. They want to say, check yourself. That's what they want to say. Sorry, Part 3. Because you're pretty like, you know, you're going to make waves. But do it in the right way. That's what it's saying. Please only take this with a pinch of salt. These are for entertainment purposes only, my friends. Please, please, please. These should only confirm what you already know. If they don't, then it's not your reading. Okay, general reading on YouTube. All right. Okay, so we've got Dharma. Oh gosh, wow. Okay. It's about you serving others. I don't know if that comes under your, like, you know, reasoning why in terms of the question I just asked, but maybe that is it. Maybe that's your Dharma. Yellow. Purify your body. Yes. Purify it. Get it clean. Okay, and then we've got third eye chakra. And then we've got, and again, third eye chakra. So we've got Tanzanite and Labradorite. Stillness and cosmic consciousness. I find stillness within, and I align myself with the cosmic consciousness and transformation and synchronicity. Labradorite. I'm always transforming spiritually, and I understand the significance of synchronicities. Now, what I'm getting here is that you need to get in touch with your intuition. You do. The High Priestess is reversed. So when the High Priestess is reversed, she's not in touch with her intuition. She's... I quite literally see it as her opening her legs. So... whenever I see the High Priestess, I think of it as somebody who's... I'm not saying that that's what you're doing, but what I mean is that, you know, just use the intuition a bit more. Open that up rather than, you know, looking at the base 3 chakras. Work with this third eye chakra for a higher understanding of what you need to do. That's what that means. And then we've got Archangel Metatron, empowered self-embodiment. I think, God, you really are like at a high level. All of you for this reading. I think whoever's come to this reading to watch this, you are all on a really kind of like you're pretty sufficient, adept, whatever you want to say. You know about spiritual understanding, about how you work through things. You get it, right? So with Metatron, I think that says to me that there's a certain level of an advancement that you're at. You understand certain things that you have to do. You understand certain ways you need to be. You know that you may need to journal a bit more. You may need to do some other work. You may need to go and relax a bit more, and take time for yourself a bit more so that you're not sacrificing for other people who don't really appreciate it. You know, that kind of thing. You know that you need to do something. And you know, like, say, for example, if you're thinking about, like, maybe you go for a drink and that's your kind of, like, way of decompressing. You know that you're going to have to change that in order to, like, move forward through this. Or your ancestors are urging you to just reconsider the way that your coping mechanisms are coming into play here, because it's leading to some kind of drama. So that's really interesting. God. You know, spirit just doesn't let up, does it? I really wish I could give those kind of readings where everyone's going about like, oh, everything's going to be fine and dandy. It doesn't happen with me. I'm sorry, my loves, but this is Gold Key Guidance. I just give blah. Okay, this card and one more to close out the reading. So we've got, there we go. There we go. Truth and integrity. I mean, can't make it up, can you? You've got these two figures. This almost looks like alien as well, and turquoise. So you've got labradorite, tanzanite. This is throat chakra, and also with this color as well. And then you've also got the flower of life. So there is just divine kind of understanding of the universe. You get it. You get it. But there's just a bit of drama here that needs to be worked out. I don't know what that is. Just sort it out. Part 3. You know, my pile 3s are usually like, you know, they know what's going on. Get rid of the drama. Let's just say, right, yeah, also, Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords doesn't say that it's a light situation. It just means that there's this sense of, like, it doesn't take 10 swords to kill someone. You only need 1. So there's a little bit of over-the-topness there. So this is why it's really important to stay with this truth and integrity. We have Hathor here. Hathor is supporting you. And we also have this kind of like energy here that looks very Egyptian-like. So there may be some kind of connections to Egypt as well, that you might want to investigate. Okay, you got 2. Look at that. So you got secret gnomes. Oh, I love that. I'm really bad at these things. Like when people say, oh yeah, can you see the gnome? I'm sorry, I just can't. But it's a beautiful scene. Secret gnomes deep in the Welsh forests. Gnomes peek out from the groves of their secret space. They cheer gleefully while you walk with a determined passionate pace. Carry a seraphonite crystal to help guide you along your spiritual journey and contact nature spirits. So gnomes are very powerful elementals. Very useful if you're moving house and you ask the gnomes to look after your house and bless your house. You need to go to like big places of nature. If you can go to any kind of forests or anything like that, that'd be really good. Anywhere with trees, to be fair, to connect with that. I think that'll be really good in the purification and help you like kind of step away from the drama. And then you've got this one, which is hidden oracles. God, it's so beautiful, isn't it? Oh, wow, look at that. The card is in there. Intuition is a compass of inner trust. So thus embrace the gifts an oracle gives to us. Carry solidite crystal to unlock your intuitive abilities. So you've got a lot of crystals there. You've got heart chakra. What was that? solidite. So again, third eye. Labradorite, solidite, tanzanite. They're all third eye chakra. You've got third eye, ajna, and then you've also got Vishuddha, which is the throat chakra for turquoise, and then seraphonite, which is for the heart chakra, which is also known, I think it's like an angel. It's associated with angelic kind of realms. So it's very important for you to just make sure that you tune into those things. I don't know, I just get the sense that things are within your control. This is what your ancestors want to say. And listen to yourself in a condensed version. And make sure that you take care of yourself. Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed that reading. I'm glad I ended on this one. It was fun. If you like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your energy and to be able to speak to your ancestors. I feel deeply grateful for that. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this video. And remember, honesty is always key.